Hello, I'm Chris, and welcome to The Real Deal. We have gave auditions to the people in America, and we got our 4 co-hosts that has made the cut. I would like them to introduce themselves to America.
Hi, I'm Sindel Stengel.
I'm Emily Newell.
I'm Young Han Lester.
And Chelsea Alderman.
And I really appreciate all you guys being here. Thank you for coming. We're going to be talking about a lot of hot topics today, a lot of stuff that's going on in the world that we need to be discussing. And and as us being the next generation that's going to be the voice of the people of America, I think our voice counts the most right now. But some of the stuff we're going to be talking about, we're going to go from movies, we're going to go to video games, we're going to talk about everything. One of the things I really want to talk about right now is Tyler Perry and how people are really negative toward him, but also positive at the same time. And I'm trying to figure out, why are people always on his back all the time?
I think people are on his back because he makes very happy, very family-friendly movies without any sort of controversy. So people interpret the lack of controversy for lack of depth, and so he gets criticized for it.
I'm trying to figure out why are these, but the critics, I'm just trying to figure out why are these critics, they say a lot of negative things about him, and I'm like, he's making his money, y'all won't make a fraction of what he makes. And it's not always about the money, it's about the art direction, and it's also about, the emotional feel that you get from the movie. It's about a lot of things, but it's not just about, just the money. But I think that he relates to a certain audience. And, there's a lot of companies out there that didn't want to pick him up, didn't want to give him a chance. And, those people, they're happy. But it's the people that's not with the show or with his company or doing his movie or anything, when they're not making any money, they're really frustrated. Then they want to say something negative about somebody because they're not getting a piece of that pie. So y'all think that's true? And mostly particularly for Hollywood sometimes.
Are you saying, do you think that Tyler Perry's people that aren't getting money are the ones that are
they're
spreading
haters.
beds,
They're
being the
haters.
haters against him?
Yes. And it's not just about him, it's about a lot of people. You see that about a lot of movies.
Yeah.
When somebody's not getting a piece of the pie, they're like, oh, that's terrible. Oh.
You think that's why the critics would do that? Is that
Well,
what
some people do. Some people do.
Well, I think people are just sort of naturally inclined to just hate things in general, really. We're pretty negative, probably as far as all of the species of monkey go, we're probably the most critical and hateful that there is.
Hey,
So
this is Kansas, I don't want to hear that shit.
Kids are pretty fucking hateful.
They fling poop. That's hate.
Alright, so since we're on the movies, let's talk about the Oscars, that came on last Sunday. And it was pretty interesting, They had Hugh Jackman. He was the person presenting all the funny stuff or the awards or the people that's going to be saying the awards or whatever. So what did y'all think about the Oscars?
I think you should have been wearing a yellow spandex. He would have been my hero if he would have done that.
So what did y'all think about the movies?
The
The winners, the losers?
I thought it was pretty good.
So, for me, I think Slumdog Millionaire is so overrated.
No, I agree.
Did you
is
see it
very
after
overrated.
it had come out with all the hype though? You just hear about it and you went and saw it after it had been out
Yes,
for a while?
that's exactly what I'm talking about. Because I was like, I looked at Box Office Mojo. They document all the sales of any movie, and I was looking at them. And I was like, all right, they only made $15 million. It was I forgot what the budget was, but they only made $15 million. And then after the Oscars started saying, oh, they're up for 8 nominations and 9 nominations, the movie started blowing up, and then all the money started going down there. They didn't reach the $100 million mark, and I'm like, whoa. And I think the Oscars did that to flex their power. But I said it's still not a good movie for no 8 awards or whatever.
Really?
I don't think so.
I really liked it.
You can like it, but I think The Dark Knight should have got more than that. I thought The Dark Knight was a great movie.
I know.
That was a great movie. It was amazing.
Dark Knight, it was fun, and I really liked how they handled the Joker as a character. I like how they handled Two-Face, and
Best villain.
as a Batman dweeb, that's the sort of thing I'm down with. That's what I look for. But as a sort of budding movie dweeb, there are a lot of, or just even as a person really, there are a lot of things the Dark Knight had that maybe it didn't need. Maybe some car chases that could have not been there. Maybe some "You'll Love Me," friggin' Christian Bale, bad constipated voice, things like that. The movie. It had some really awesome bits, but it also had some pretty huge turds
It was still better than Slumdog Millionaire.
Slumdog
Yeah.
Millionaire was like
I
2/3
think that was
awesome,
so
1/3
overrated.
turd. Dark Knight was more along the lines of like an awesome loaf that someone, like a rabbit, let us say, excuse me, covered with saliva, had taken like multiple miniature turds throughout, like distributed.
Oh my God.
That's the best way I could put
Oh,
that.
but the thing that gets me, the thing that gets me really irked up about the Oscars is that there was The Color Purple. Yeah, that was a great movie. It was done by Steven Spielberg. It had Whoopi Goldberg,
Great
huge
color.
star, all
Yeah.
that. And it was nominated for like 11 Academy Awards and didn't win any. And everybody was like, they gave it to this other movie. I forgot what the name of this movie was, but it was about these people being in Africa, and they gave them like 3 awards.
Out of Africa.
Yeah, that's the movie right there. And I was like,
That
what?
may not be.
I said, why would you not give a movie that's having black people about Africa, but you're gonna give some, sorry to say it, you're gonna give 2 white people that goes to Africa to do the same thing, and they got awards for it. I was like, I didn't see nothing spectacular about that movie, nothing captured me or nothing. I said The Color Purple was just amazing from beginning to end. It had so many stuff, and it also had, about the South having that homosexuality with the 2 females. They had a lot of stuff in there. Steven Spielberg is really good, and I was like, that should at least have won at least 5.
Yeah.
And it irks me about the Academy Awards, Oscars, or any of it. It really gets on my nerves.
On the other hand, though, I mean, from what I understand, I'm not a movie buff, but from what I have read, like the Oscars have been almost too afraid of coming across as racist in the past. I remember when Gandhi was the big thing. People hated Gandhi. It wasn't doing that well, but then this campaign came out that essentially said, if you don't like Gandhi, you're a racist, or it was something along those lines. Like they were trying to get that idea across. And as a result, Gandhi won, a whole slew of awards that a lot of people didn't think it deserved. So I wouldn't categorize the Academy, I would not categorize it as an institution that does not at least consider the possibility that it might come across as racist. It might be racist, but I think it's going to avoid blatantly making decisions for racist reasons simply because it doesn't want to be so obvious.
And you could use that same rationale for Slumdog's success.
Yeah, precisely.
Which they want to come across as multicultural and etc.
Yeah.
All right, so I know everybody probably watched Obama's address to Congress. I hope y'all were watching.
Bits and pieces.
Watch bits and pieces. Well, he had some interesting topics that he talked about. He talked about the stimulus package. He talked about another bailout for the banks. He also talked about the carbon emissions and having fuel-efficient cars. He talked about the healthcare and trying to get universal healthcare for everyone. He talked about better education, and he also, which they should be trying to cancel that No Child Left Behind Act, which is the dumbest act in the world.
Yeah.
And he's also trying to stop these tax breaks for corporate companies, that's shipping jobs overseas. So what did y'all think about all that stuff that he has out there? Because a lot of people are not, there's the Republicans that's for the stimulus package, and then there's the Democrats that's, they're the Republicans, that's not for the stimulus package, and then there's the Democrats that are for the stimulus package. So what do y'all think, about his address to Congress?
I think he's doing what he can. I mean, people, at the very least, he won't be accused of being a hoover and just standing by while we go into economic crisis. He's going to try something.
Although, I'm not a history, but I've read like the whole Hoover thing too. Like Hoover actually worked pretty hard to fix a lot of other
history's
people's.
perception of his
Yeah,
what he
yes,
actually
because
did.
poor Hoover, it's the name. They name all these bills after him, and he gets a dam for him, and that's good.
And eventually
But in a
vacuum.
vacuum, yeah. All that really says is Hoover sucks, and that's not fair.
Yeah, and and I think that's people gonna give Obama a bad rep because I see what you're saying. Because Bush, I'm sorry to say, he is the absolute worst president in the history of presidents. I don't care if people say as much crap they want to say about Richard Nixon and all these other people, but he is the absolute worst, and he's fraudulent. And I'm like, this guy sat here and nearly destroyed this country, and you guys are sitting here saying, oh, Obama this, Obama that, and he's not even in office yet. He was barely in office and people were already on his backs. So I'm just trying to figure out, what do you guys think of our government right now? Because Obama's trying to fix so much, and I'm like, this is going to take more than 8 years to do that. It really is. I'm just sorry.
Maybe pull an FDR
Well-
and stay in longer.
No,
Yes.
Constitution goes
Anyway.
inside.
I